Hello everyone, welcome back. It is season 20. Starting the off season coming off of an AFC divisional round loss. I've already gone through and cut the practice squad guys that I always cut. There is one roster move that I'd like to make, and that's trading away one of our cornerbacks because he's old, declining, expensive, and doesn't have a salary bonus that we have to worry about a penalty. So I think it's best to trade him away and bring in a cornerback that'll fill in for him. So the Bills, Browns, Cardinals, and Chiefs. There's a lot of teams that have an interest in him. Wouldn't mind trading him to a divisional rival because that would mean he isn't really going to make that big of a difference for that long, but we'd be taking a pick away in return. Who needs a cornerback the most? So far I've seen a bunch of 77s. There was a 76. There we go. The Titans. But they have the last pick in the first round. Let's see if we can get a better first round pick. We might not even be able to get a first round pick for this guy, to be fair. But it never hurts to be a little greedy, right? The Chiefs did want him. Fourth. Let's just do this. Can I get like a top 10 pick for him? Eagles might be interested. No, they're not. I do remember that Washington was interested. See if we can find someone that has cornerback in the top 5 as well. Rams. Okay, so the conversation is open at least. God, it's pretty close. If I do these two 4th round picks. Okay. So, a really expensive and old and declining cornerback and 2 4th round picks got us the 11th pick in the draft. So, I like it. We don't need to sign any free agents right now, I don't think. Yeah, I'll sign free agents in the preseason if I really need them. Alright, so we have the 4th, 11th, and 27th pick. Let's see what do we need the most of. So we need a good halfback. Could use a 3rd or 4th string wide receiver. Of course, we could probably get that later in the draft. Our offensive line is getting old, specifically the left side, so maybe an offensive lineman. We need a backup right end. I can get that later. I think cornerback is honestly our biggest need. So cornerback and halfback are our 2 biggest needs. How far down do we have to go for either? So there's the first cornerback. He's technically a zone coverage back, but his man coverage isn't that far behind. He's the strongest as well. 6th fastest. So that might be someone to take a look at. There's a halfback there. Let's just go to this here. Alright. There are several 1st round quality cornerbacks. We want someone with man coverage, which would eliminate Brian. Matt is pretty decent. Sean is fast and quick. So maybe. I'm not taking him. Alright, so let's see, he's a late, early, mid. So they're actually saying Matt Barden is a better cornerback. We'll compare them later. Let me go to the halfbacks. Okay, so Dontrell looks like he's pretty decent, although he's kind of slow. Not very strong either. And they're saying he's a mid. David is also a mid. He's a little faster. Quick too, and agile. I think I would prefer David over Dontrell. I'll throw them both on the list though. What about Matthew? Okay, so they're saying he's an early first round pick. He is slow though. Just throw him on the list. Alright, go to the draft board. Actually, let me rank them by position first. So they're saying Matthew is the best of the group. Oh, I think I'd rather have ball carrier vision over well, I guess it would be over break tackle. Break tackle's nice. Yeah, okay, so we'll do that. And then the cornerbacks, mid, top, late. Alright, now, he does look like he's going to be pretty good. But he looks like a better pass coverage guy. And leave that how that is. Now to rank them in terms of early, so you'll come on top. Late. These both mid-round guys. Yeah. Okay, so I have my top 6 preferences here. We can get him later, most likely. I don't know if we can get him much later, though. I don't think he'll be available at 27, so if I'm going to take him, I'd have to take him 11th. He's probably going to be my number 4 pick. So Justin, you know what? I'm going to pick between these two for the 4th pick, and then consider if I want to take him at 11. Let's go to wide receiver. Okay, so we have some physical guys here. Got the hold the reorder bug. He looks like someone who can go up and get the jump ball, but maybe not burn anyone downfield or with their route running. He's a little slow for a deep threat, but we could turn him into a good slot wide receiver probably. So throw him on the list. He's a maybe, I guess. All the way down here we got a first round talent guy. I'll throw him on the list because I might actually take him. Because we don't need, like, this guy's probably going to end up being our 4th wide receiver unless he ends up with like a 78 overall. And what else do we need? Lineman. Let me just get rid of this bug. Oh, come on. Whatever. Alright, so you are a late 1st round talent. I wonder if you'll fall to the 2nd maybe. Oh, good. Nope, didn't get rid of it. Mid 1st round. Late 1st round. You're a 2nd rounder. 2nd round guys would be pretty much depth on our team, so I'm not going to add them to the draft board. Alright, how about defense? Or defensive end, defensive line, whatever. They're saying he's a late 1st round guy, but I'm not really that interested in. And we got the hold reorder again. Awesome. He's an early 1st round guy. Probably won't be available when I'm ready to take him, but we'll see. Now he's a run stopper, which means I would have to move him to defensive tackle. He's a little lightweight for defensive tackle. Probably not as strong as other top-end defensive tackles, though. But they say he's going to be good, so we'll put him on the list. You might be decent. Put you on the list too. Yeah, so 31 reps is 12th on defensive tackle, whereas for left end, I think it was like 4th or something, 3rd or 4th. Late 1st round, early 1st round, 40 reps. This guy's a monster. Ooh, this is an early 1st round guy as well, but he's not projected to go until the 3rd round. And he has 40 reps. Yeah. That's cute. Okay. Alright, so I think we got a nice short list of people to take. I still have to do my scouting. I don't know if I really want to scout any more people because I think I'm good on most positions. I know I still had cornerbacks that I could scout, so likely not anybody that I'm going to end up picking. Yeah, I'm not scouting any more of them. Halfback, I already have them all scouted. Alright, I'm done scouting then, so let's just go ahead and go to the draft.
The Raiders
draft,
are now on the clock.
And we'll go ahead and just go straight to our pick.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Okay, so both of our guys are available. If I'm trusting my scouts, this is the guy to take, so
The Vikings
take him.
are now on the clock.
He's 77 overall with a normal development trait. Got him right about where he should be taken. I don't know that I'm happy with that pick though. He's 23 years old, so he's already old. And I mean, he's good, but I feel like he could be better.
The Jets are now on the clock.
See
The
if
Packers
any of
are
our
now
other
on the
guys
clock.
get taken here.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks
There went
are now on the clock.
Justice Sullivan. He was a 75. I wonder if he was any good though. Like development trait and stat wise. Alright, so then the next person on our list, I'm just going to look at this guy again real quick. Okay, yeah, I'm not interested. Next person on our list would be Dontrell Pitts. I'm not sure that he would be better than what we already have. Let me just take a look at the guy we already have. I know overall wise our guy would be better, or the guy that we already have would be better, but let me just look at his stats and see. Okay, so he's fast, agile, or fast and quick, kind of agile, has good change of direction. He's weak though. Those skills are okay. So he could be a good back for us, I suppose. Only a normal development trait though. Alright, so what else would be available then? This guy has a 7.6 grade. That'd actually be really good. Draft board. Okay, so it's actually a list of guys here. Oh, and Matthew Leonard was the guy that I would be interested in taking anyway. There's no guarantee that he's better than what we have now. So if Matthew Leonard's available at 27, I'll pick him up. Otherwise, I'm thinking I'm going to go with a cornerback, or with a halfback. Now, this guy is fast, has good man coverage, but he's late first round, so we'll hold off on him. Jonathan Ali is an early first round talent. He's 23 though. What's with all these old people? Mid and late. Late, mid, late, mid, late, early. Do we take defensive tackle even though we already have good defensive tackles? I mean, I could end up with two really strong run-stopping defensive tackles if I take him now and then I take him maybe like with that second round pick. Yeah, because they're both early first round guys. So it'd either be that defensive tackle or this wide receiver. I'm going to go with defensive tackle.
The 49ers
I want
are
a
now
strong
on the clock.
defense. So nice hidden development talent, second talent in the draft. Still needs some development though, but with that dev trait he'll get it. Now the question is, what to do about our defensive tackles? So I'm going to pick two defensive tackles. I'm clearly not going to need these guys. Even though, well, Moss is only normal, so I don't really care for him. But he's 29 though. He's not getting much better. And Brewer's a superstar, but he's also 30. So, yeah, you know what? I think it is time to go ahead and work on our defensive line. And let me look at my wide receivers. I know my top two are going to stay my top two. Corey McCoy is getting a little old, but he's cheap, so, and he's been performing well. Let's get to the 20th pick. Let's get to 15 and see if that wide receiver is still there.
The Patriots are now on the clock.
Okay, so he is still available. Where is he at? Actually, there's a left guard here. Could trade up to get this left guard so that we can get someone who is younger. You are pretty good as well. Here's Jonathan Ali. You know what, let's go to 20. Take a gamble. I'm sure at least one of those guys is going to be taken. There goes the left guard.
The Colts are
There's
now
another
on the
left
clock.
guard.
The Bills are now on the
There's
clock.
another one. And there goes McKenzie. Is McKenzie the guy we wanted, though? I think we wanted Ali, right? Yeah, we wanted Ali. Will Yancey's still available. Okay, so Ravens. Are you interested in a defensive tackle? Doesn't seem like it. Well, they are, actually. Okay. Let's see how close Brewer for their pick gets us. Fairly close. Okay, we can work with this. Do I have a cornerback I'm willing to give up? I want to keep Dorsey, keep Hodge. Let's see if they want either of these guys. No. But okay, so that gets us a little closer. Could send a backup center because drafting. I like having a cheap guy. Alright, let's just package a pick in here.
I see both teams filling out cards. You know what that means?
Okay,
We've got a trade.
so I was going to take Ali with this pick, and then I think I'm going to try to trade for the next pick as well and get Yancey, and then with that 27th pick, get that other halfback. So Ali,
The Bears are now on the clock.
76 overall, not bad. We're going to develop him as a slot receiver though. Alright, and the Bears, see if they're interested in Brewer. I feel like that should have got us closer, but
Well, if you're wondering what the delay is, I think we've got a trade coming here.
now we will get Yancey.
The Falcons are now on the clock.
He was actually really bad. That really wasn't worth what we gave up. Darn. Alright, let's hope our halfback is still available.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
Okay, he is. I don't expect him to be much more than a 74.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
77 though. Okay.
The Saints are now on the clock. The
Okay, I don't
Cowboys
want
are
to
now
go
on the
straight
clock.
to my next pick because I want to trade up
The
and make
Titans
sure that I get
are
that
now on the
defensive
clock.
tackle.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
Let's
The Browns are now on the clock.
see if the Lions
The Broncos are now on the clock.
will be interested in trading up. Is that guy still available though? Okay, he is. This probably isn't going to get it done, but let's at least see how close we are. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. Alright, well, they need a halfback. Can send them... Honestly, I probably should just send them Tatum so that we can focus on the halfback we just drafted. So if I do that, can I keep my second? I'll even throw in the 7 because I don't care about that pick. Actually, can I keep my 5 though? Probably not. Oops. Alright, so it looks like we'll have to give a 2 and Tatum.
How come nobody's at the podium? That's because both teams are right now working on a trade.
And we will take the defensive tackle. Now there is that cornerback that I wanted to take later, or... Oh, there's a wide receiver. Yeah, there was a wide receiver that I wanted to take later who has a first round talent. And then move him to receiving back. So we might have to trade up one more time.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
Alright, so Clyde Peck is a 78, but he's only a normal. And that was the number 1 guy. So we got the number 1, 2, and 4 overall talents in the draft. Oh, I still have a 3rd round pick left? Ooh.
The Jets
How
are
did
now
I
on the clock.
completely forget about my 3rd round pick?
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Alright, who is available? Okay, just that wide receiver. What I might do is I might just trade down to the to a 4th round pick. So who has the... I think the Raiders have the first pick. Either that or they just happen to have yeah, pretty sure they have the first pick. Because it'd be 32, 64, 96. So yeah, 97th is the first pick in the in the 4th round. Oh, you know what? Let's go with the Browns. I think they have the 2nd pick. Oh, they don't even have a 4th round pick. Okay, so who has 98? The Rams. Alright, Rams. I'll give you the 3, 5, and 7 for your 4th this year and 3rd next year. Can I get that? No. Oh, come on. I should be able to get that. Alright, I'll settle for your 5th next year.
Well, wait, looks like both war rooms are
I got
feverishly back on the phones.
jobbed.
I think
Like,
that means a trade is coming.
they definitely should have had to pay more to move up to the 3rd round.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock.
Alright, our draft is over. I think we had a heck of a draft. Let's see. Check the NFL and see who the top players are. So we have the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. So we had 5 of the top 6 players out of this draft. That's a good draft. Alright, I do want to move that wide receiver over to running back. Okay, so he ended up being a 71. He'll probably handle our receiving, or be our third down back, while Leonard will be our feature back and our power back probably. To be fair, might be better off just making Leonard the back for all 3 downs. Okay, so we have Ali, who's I'm going to develop purely as a slot receiver. So he'll eventually overtake McCoy probably. What else did we draft? Defensive tackles. Okay, so we have 2 78s, both of them rookies. One of them, I believe, Landry. Yep, is a hidden development talent. And so yeah, actually our defensive line is pretty young now. I'll have to develop this guy in run blocking. But I want to get him to 80 overall as a speed rusher, and then we'll work up his run blocking or run stopping. So he'll be good. McKay is already good, but we probably only have about 2 to 3 more years left with him. But our defensive tackles will be pretty solid. We have good linebackers, and looks like we have probably, Elias is a little older, but we have about 4 years on them. We have 2 young cornerbacks that could eventually be good cornerbacks for us. Maybe not great, but good. In fact, what was his development trait? Just a normal. So yeah. What do I need to go out and sign? Anything? Oh, that's right. We drafted a left guard. You're not going to be anything special for us, I don't think. Okay, I need a backup right end, backup right out of linebacker, and that'll be all. Pat Stuckey. $64. Yeah, looks like to be the best bang for our buck. Alright, we have our team now. Once I set the depth chart, we can get going on the season. Let me make Yancey the backup lineman for pretty much every position, just so that he can get the XP. Although I'm going to leave Cummins in the backup spot there. Our punter would be a better kicker. And not with that accuracy though. Alright, on kick returns. There, we'll do it that way. Alright, so Mikel, Ali, Kirkpatrick favors Allen. Okay, so for third down back, it does have Mikel as being significantly better than Leonard. But with that carry, that's kind of gross. I feel like he's going to fumble a lot. I guess all we can do is give him a chance to develop. I do want Leonard being our power back, even though Peterson is better, and it's the whole reason Peterson's here. Leonard needs the touches. And you know what? There. We'll see halfway through the season how he's doing as the feature back, and then, you know, if I need to pull him, I can pull him. Or not pull him, but like replace someone as either the power or receiving back. Not going to mess with any of that, although I don't think the slot corner should be the starting cornerback. Who's on the field as our number 2? Okay, Dorsey's on the field as our number 2. Is that who we want? No, I want Barden being the number 2, and then that's going to make Dorsey the slot. Okay. So we are ready for the first season now. Let's go ahead and progress. We got blown out. It's 42-14. Although I don't really care about the score as much as I want us to get through without any injuries. And our starting middle linebacker's out. Okay, so we only had one injury. He's almost ready to come back. I'm going to go ahead and let Michaels play though. Let's get him to an 80 overall as his zone safety, and then we can build up his run support. Alright, regular season's starting. Games actually count now, so we need to win. Okay, good start to the season. Probably going to get him to an 80 overall as run support, and then build up zone a little bit. Doesn't look like it has to be much though. I'd like his zone coverage to be at least an 80. Okay, I said I wanted to get him to an 80 and then work on run support. So something I'm considering doing with our offensive line is not scouting or drafting any for a little while, letting them go ahead and get old and move on, and then I think I might want to transition to a power running game again. We haven't had much running success as a zone run team. Like our offensive line has been amazing, but we haven't had much success running the ball. Now, part of that is also because we haven't had a good elusive halfback, and also part of that is because I haven't been able to draft a good elusive running back. But considering I have been able to draft a good power back, I'm thinking maybe we're better off going back to a power run. Also, darn it, I really want to keep Amari Michaels on the staff. I don't know if I want to pay him $4 million a year. Walter, I'm definitely letting go. I'm not paying him $12 million a year. What do we have? He's a backup. Alright, what's our cap room? Because I have to keep room for our quarterback and our 2 wide receivers. And if I'm smart about it, I'm going to say probably $25 million a year for quarterback, $20 million a year for one wide receiver, and then like $15 a year for the other one. So I'm going to need about $60 million cap space for those 3 guys. If I do sign this guy, that gives us someone for when Elias goes down, or if Elias either retires or degresses. But he's not going to be, like, maybe he gets up to an 85 overall by the time he starts, or at his peak. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to check stats, like I said, at the trade deadline, so we'll see how he's doing by then. Alright, could scout a replacement for McKay maybe, since McKay's getting old. Look at the elusive backs. This guy looks like he'll be pretty decent. We only have we have 2 5s this year. This is going to be one of our weaker drafts probably. We would like to maybe bring in a pass blocking guy, that way move him to left tackle. So I will scout that position. It doesn't look like there are any. Okay, well, never mind on that for this year. What about a power blocker? Oh, I need more points. Not looking too good for linemen this year, is it? You know what? If I can get you cheap, we'll give you a chance. Same thing for you. Okay, Elias is available to play again. Alright, so this guy here is the only first round talent lineman that's a power blocker. Going to scout speed and power rushers. See if maybe someone can fill in for McKay. McKay is starting to get old. He's only 29 right now, but that means we have like 3 years left, and he unfortunately never progressed to where I thought he should be. I'm never going to get you for the price that I want. I'll offer, but I'll be fair. Probably the same thing for you. I think we're 3 years away from having an elite level defense. And we'll have to progress our defensive line and maybe replace a person or two. But yeah, I think in like 3 years we could be back to that elite level defense. Oh, who's hurt? Leonard. Okay. Let these guys know they're not coming back. Another benefit to going with a power run game is my feature back will also be the power back. So then, maybe we have a receiving back for third down, or an elusive back that can do some receiving. I just got a run-stopping defensive tackle. I could move them to left end because the left end in this scheme is a run blocker, and then just kind of build up some of their pass rush as a secondary, and then move our pass rushing left end over to right end for McKay, so that could work as well. We are not having a good year this year. Thank you for your service, Kenya, but it's time for you to go. And Tyler, I'll maybe offer to you in the off season. And now that I look at it, I'm not going to be offering any of those guys contracts. Let's tackle. we're still in a competing position for a playoff spot, but it is looking like a year where we might not make the playoffs. That would only be the third time in this entire series that we don't, so can't be too mad. Okay, so we have 4 first-round talented defensive tackles. 3 of them are run stopper, 1's a power rusher. I'll have to look at middle linebacker because Ellis is getting old and constantly hurt. And I may be letting that other guy go. Another injury. This time it's our backup left, our linebacker. Alright, let's check those stats. So, 2 that I really want to focus on are the halfback and our middle linebackers. Garrett is having a bad year, it looks like, this year. He's on pace for 22 touchdowns and 18 interceptions. And about 3,500 yards probably. So that's not a good year. Leonard is averaging about 60 yards a game. I'd like to see that a little higher. Kel's only averaging 22 yards a game. I'd really like to see that higher considering he is filling in for Leonard while Leonard's hurt. And has been doing so for a few weeks now, which means we're getting nothing out of our running game right now. And getting nothing out of our run game also probably means we're getting nothing out of our passing game. We are getting touchdowns from Peterson and McCoy. Andrews is underperforming. You know, as much as I keep saying I'll be saving up money to re-sign Andrews, he is not earning another contract. I could get that kind of production out of just about anybody. Peterson is living up to that contract he's getting. Kind of miss Fitzsimmons though, but not for 20 million. Okay, blocking we're doing really well, except Cherry's given up quite a few sacks. He's on pace for 10, which is a lot. Defensively, our defensive backs are leading the team in tackles. Then Brown, we have to go all the way down here for middle linebacker. Now he's been hurt for a few weeks. There was 3 games he missed. Where's Michaels? So in 3 games as a starter, he still hasn't even cracked the 15 tackle mark. After playing, what, 7, 8 games? We played 7 games so far, so he was a starter for about half of that, only has 4 tackles, so not worth the $3 million or so a year. We're doing alright on interceptions, though. Reed Lewis is doing pretty decent kicking the ball, 90% accuracy. I'm greedy, I want 100%, but only missing 1 field goal so far isn't that bad. He is 100% on extra kick or extra points. All right. So yeah, probably not re-signing Michaels, and we definitely need more out of a run game. Actually, I know we are a zone run team right now, but If there's any good young power backs. He's one. I doubt I'll be able to get him though, without giving up a lot anyway. Kevin Whitaker would probably be the next one. Let's see how close we can get to getting Mays without giving up a first round pick. Okay. Oops. Oh my goodness. Alright. We need a right end. I could give them a K. Not even close. They need a cornerback, so I could give them Hodge. How much am I paying him? And how many years does he have left? 4 years left. I'm paying him a lot. Oh, let's see. I think I'm paying him about $6 million a year in cap. So that's $12 million I'll have as a penalty next year. Whoops. Why did it take us all the way out? Alright, let's see how close Hodge gets us. We're not close at all. If I package in McKay, wow. Okay, so that didn't really work out too well. You know what? We'll just draft a power back. I'm not going to give up too much to get one, or to trade for one. I think what I'm going to do is develop Leonard into maybe a little more of a receiving back. That way, when he's on the field as a third down back, we still have a competent back, not just a wide receiver that would fumble the ball. Really wish there was a better power back though. Well, there's potentially one. A little bit more out of our cornerbacks so that they can develop quicker. Alright, finally got Leonard back. throw him on the list. Oops, I didn't mean to scout that guy. Just got another cornerback. Alright, so we don't have to worry about signing anybody the rest of the year. We do, however, need to worry about trying to get some linemen in here. Now there is a pass or a power blocker here that's late first round, and I thought there was a pass blocker as well. I do need backups though, so maybe it doesn't hurt to go ahead and scout out power blockers and maybe see if we can get like a second round talent that's later in the draft. Okay, so Jory Harrison's at an 80 overall for run support. Now maybe that next support throw a zone on him. Whereas Jeremy Stuck is now an 80 as a zone, so now we can start working on his run support. We're up to 5-4 now, so it seems we turned things around a little bit. I know this is a waste of his talents and could probably progress into a decent elusive back, but whatever. Close to uncovering his dev trait. I didn't want to do zone, dang it. Might be decent. Could move this guy to left tackle. Build him up to be a pass protector. Well, if we get one more win, we'll be in the playoffs. So we kind of salvaged it. And there, we got that 9-5. That's pretty much crossing that borderline of getting into the playoffs. I do want to continue scout defensive backs though, so I can get the backups. The defensive backs we have are probably going to be our long-term guys. So we have young safeties with superstar talents. We have young cornerbacks that are good. We have a young defensive line other than McKay that's good. Our linebackers are a little older, but they're pretty good as well. So yeah, if we just fill out the defense with some backups, we'll be pretty solid there. I can actually focus on building up the offense. Something else I thought about is turning Aiden Andrews into a tight end. Because I feel like he would actually have success at the tight end role. Then I'd have to decide what to do with Gillisley though. Whoa, jumped up 2 points of overall with that point. Huh. Moved from an 80 to an 82. And Leonard is hurt again. Right as we get McKell back. Alright, wild card round against the Steelers. They beat us earlier in the year. Here's one thing I'm going to do though. I'm going to change up the running back lineup here. So we will make McKell the third down running back and keep Peterson as the power back. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. I can't see what a wide receiver would look like at tight end. Just linemen or fullbacks. Wish I could compare Andrews and Gillislee. Alright, let's get through the playoffs here. And it looks like our playoffs are over. I think I have one more year before I need to resign anyone. Yep. Next year I'll need to resign people. Anything else? Nope. Alright, I'll do season stats at the end of the video here. Actually, I'll do it now. See how bad we did. Okay, so Nick Garrett, the second half of the season was much better. He got to 33 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. So that means when we last looked, he had 7 games played. So in the last 9 games of the year, he threw for 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And he ended up throwing for 2,500 yards. So he had a much better second half of the season. Running the ball, Matthew Leonard had a really bad season. Peterson had a good season. McKell had a decent season, given that they were not in the plans at all of being featured in the offense. Matthew Leonard was hurt for most of the year. He played in 11 games, so I guess he only missed 5, but it seems like he missed a lot more than that. Although granted, I guess part of his injury was playoffs as well, and he's still hurt. Receiving, McCoy led the team with 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Gillislee, almost 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. But our 2 feature wide receivers had miserable years. Andrews, 567 yards and 1 touchdown. Peterson, 864 yards and 6 touchdowns. Really bad production. I'm going to look at possibly swapping Gillislee and Andrews, making Gillislee a wide receiver and Andrews a tight end. I feel like that's going to be what I have to do in order to get production out of Andrews. And then Gillislee has been producing, so hopefully as a wide receiver he continues to. Although I'm going to look at his ability to receive before doing that, because I might just trade him away. Or maybe have 2 really good tight ends. Blocking got much better the second half of the season. Defensively, Cummins led the team with 101 tackles and 4 interceptions. And Elias ended up getting back up there by the end of the season. We had a good first half of the season for interceptions, but the second half was miserable. Then we got like 3 interceptions the second half of the season. Hess led the team in sacks with 7.5. McKay only had 3, so yeah, it's time to say bye to McKay. Rookies averaged 5 sacks apiece, so not bad. They'll still need to progress some. But I'm going to move Hess to right end. We'll keep these guys 2 at defensive tackle. And then McKay's gone. We'll bring in someone for right end or left end. Kicking, Lucas had a much worse second half of the season, and so did Conover. So this is probably one of our worst years of the entire series. Even though we made the playoffs, I feel like we probably didn't deserve to. I'm not even going to look at awards because, well, Matt Barden, I'll look at defensive backs because Matt Barden gained a point, which means he might have. Oh, you know what? I bet he's defensive rookie of the year. That's what that is. Yep, defensive rookie of the year. We had the top two guys. Alright, the Jets and Packers. Is there anything else that I really need to scout? Did I already do wide receivers this year? I didn't. Not taking one with one of the first round picks. So let's start at second. Also, I'm going to make that switch now. We can spend the whole off season working on it. Okay, so Andrews 2 tight end. He's an 84 wide receiver. '86 tight end, and I bet he has a lot better of a year at tight end. And now the question is, what do I do with Gillisley? He had a 1,000-yard year, so not like he really deserves to be demoted to the second tight end, but I want to make sure Andrews gets in there and gets his time. Guess I just trade Gillisley. He doesn't have the speed to be a wide receiver. Does he have the blocking to be a fullback? Because that'd be a pretty deadly fullback coming from the backfield. Man. Now the question is, do I want to pay a fullback, what, $5 million a year? No. We'll trade him. Okay. Hayden, he's going to be done with us. In fact, I actually already told him he wasn't coming back next year. So I'm going to move Knox to left tackle. And I'm going to move Yancey to right guard. Okay, so we'll be good at left tackle. We'll need a new left guard soon. Good at center. We'll need a new right guard soon. And probably need a new right tackle soon. So that switch to power running is coming. Defensively, McKay is going to be gone. So we'll have Hess, Landry, Peck, all of which are 80s or better. Good at middle or at linebacker. I think it'll be time for Hodge to go in the off season as well. And that'll make Barden and Dorsey our top cornerbacks. Stuckey got hurt, darn it. Yeah, I really do think we're close to having an elite defense. They just have to progress. But with that said, our time for this season has come to an end. That is officially 20 seasons in the book. We have 10 more to go. So I'm going to ask for a little interaction in the comments. Out of these last 10 years, how many Super Bowls do you think we are going to win? We won 2 in the first 10 years. We didn't win any in our second 10 years. We made it to a bunch, but we didn't win any of them. So yeah, out of 20 years, we only have 2 Super Bowls. So in the last 10 years, how many do you think we're going to win? I'm going to predict, I'm going to say 2.5. It would be the over-under that I'm putting up there. I do think we'll be between 2 or 3 Super Bowls in the last 10 years because I think we're getting pretty close. We have a good quarterback. Receiving is okay. Our line is good for now, even though we're going to be transitioning. And our defense is going to be pretty good as well. So with that said, that is the end of season 20. Thank you for watching. Tune in tomorrow for season 21.